The death of Queen Elizabeth II on September 8, 2022, marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. Her eldest son, Charles Philip Arthur George Windsor, became King Charles III, the 62nd British monarch to serve over the past 1,200 years. He was officially proclaimed as the new sovereign 2 days later in an accession ceremony broadcast for the first time on television. But his coronation, the formal confirmation of his role as head of state and titular head of the Church of England, did not take place until May 6, 2023, at Westminster Abbey in London. The coronation of King Charles III was a spectacle that echoed medieval times but featured modern flourishes. The ceremony was shorter and smaller than his mother's 3-hour extravaganza that drew 8,000 guests in 1953. Charles opted for a more toned-down affair with no more than 2,800 guests, including royals from other nations, heads of state and most of his family. He also wore the same vestments as Elizabeth did, including the crimson robe of state and the street Edward's crown, which weighs nearly 5 pounds. The coronation ceremony dates back to the medieval period and much of it remains unchanged. It is a deeply religious and regalia-heavy event that shows the king's authority is derived from God. During the service conducted by the Archbishop of Canterbury, Charles was anointed with oil, received the traditional symbols of the monarch such as the orb and scepter, and had the street Edward's crown placed on his head for the first time. He also took the coronation oath, swearing to uphold the laws and customs of his realms and to govern according to their respective laws and customs. His wife, Camilla, was crowned as queen consort by his side. The coronation of King Charles III was also a historic moment for the British monarchy and its people. It was the first time a new sovereign was crowned in 70 years and the first time a new line of succession was established since 2013. Under a law called the Succession to the Crown Act, which came into full effect in 2015, gender no longer determines who inherits the throne. The act also ended the provisions by which those who marry Roman Catholics are disqualified from the line of succession. As a result of the act, Princess Charlotte of Wales, the daughter of Prince William and Catherine, is ahead in line over her younger brother, Prince Louis. The coronation of King Charles III also signaled a new chapter for his reign and his vision for the monarchy. Charles has said he plans to slim down the monarchy and make it more relevant and responsive to modern times. He has also expressed his desire to be a king for all faiths and to promote environmental causes and social justice. As he takes his place on the throne, he faces many challenges and opportunities as the new monarch of a nation that is undergoing political, economic, and social changes. One of the most embarrassing moments in King Charles III's life was the laundry scandal that erupted when his personal assistant leaked his dirty clothes to the media. The scandal exposed the king's messy habits and poor hygiene, and damaged his reputation as a dignified and respectable monarch. The scandal began when a tabloid newspaper published photos of the king's laundry basket, which contained stained shirts, ripped socks, and underwear with holes. The newspaper claimed that the king was too cheap to buy new clothes, and that he often wore the same outfit for days. The newspaper also alleged that the king had a fetish for wearing women's lingerie, and that he had several pairs of Camilla's panties in his drawer. The source of the leak was later revealed to be the king's personal assistant, who had been secretly taking photos of the king's clothes and selling them to the press. The assistant said that he was motivated by revenge, as he felt that the king had treated him poorly and ignored his requests for a raise. The assistant also said that he wanted to expose the king's hypocrisy, as he preached about environmental issues while wasting water and energy on washing his clothes. The scandal caused a public outcry and a media frenzy. Many people were disgusted by the king's lack of cleanliness and decency, and questioned his fitness to rule. Some even called for his abdication or impeachment. The scandal also sparked a debate about the role and relevance of the monarchy in modern society, and whether it was worth spending millions of pounds on maintaining their lavish lifestyle. King Charles III was devastated by the scandal and its consequences. He felt betrayed by his assistant, who had been working for him for over a decade. He also felt ashamed by his personal flaws, which he had tried to hide from the public eye. He realized that he had made a mistake by neglecting his appearance and wardrobe, and that he had taken his position and privileges for granted. The king decided to take action to deal with the scandal and restore his public image and credibility. He fired his assistant and 2 maids who were involved in the leak. He also hired a new stylist and a personal shopper, who helped him update his look and buy new clothes. He donated his old clothes to charity, and vowed to be more careful and mindful about his hygiene and laundry habits. The king also issued a public apology for the scandal, in which he expressed his regret and remorse for his actions. He admitted that he had been careless and irresponsible, and that he had let down his family, his country, and himself. He asked for forgiveness and understanding from his subjects, and promised to do better in the future. He also denied having any interest in wearing women's lingerie, and said that the panties in his drawer belonged to Camilla, who sometimes left them behind after their intimate moments. The apology was well received by most people, who appreciated the king's honesty and humility. They accepted his explanation and forgave him for his mistake. They also praised him for his efforts to improve himself and his style, and complimented him on his new look. They recognized that he was human and flawed, like everyone else, and that he deserved a second chance. The laundry scandal was one of the biggest challenges that King Charles III faced during his reign. It tested his character and resilience, as well as his relationship with his wife, his family, and his people. It also taught him a valuable lesson about being more attentive and respectful to his staff, who played an important role in supporting him and running his household. The scandal also showed him how much he cared about being a good king, and how much he wanted to earn the trust and respect of his subjects. He realized that being a monarch was not only about wearing a crown and a robe, but also about being a leader and a role model. He learned to be more mindful of his actions and their consequences, both on himself and on others. The laundry scandal was a turning point in King Charles III's life. It made him grow as a person and as a monarch. It also made him more popular and beloved by his people, who admired him for overcoming adversity with grace and dignity.